It's happening, huh? The shift? That quiet little quake beneath your feet that no one else seems to notice, but you do? Oh yeah, you feel it, don't you? The tension in the air, like the room's been holding its breath for a century, just waiting for you to move. Everyone else thinks it's just another day, another step in their same little loop. But not you. You know better. You know something's changing. Not out there, no. In here. The funny thing about comfort is how quickly it turns into a cage. At first it's warm, familiar, like a soft little lie wrapped in a blanket. You tell yourself you're fine, it's fine, everything's fine. You settle into your routine, your role, your pre-agreed personality, and for a while it works. People smile at you, you smile back, the loop continues. But deep down, buried beneath the polite nods and paycheck to paycheck prayers, something starts to itch. Not on the surface. Oh no, deeper, beneath the skin, behind the eyes, like your soul just coughed in the middle of a quiet room. You look around and wonder, is this it? And that one thought, that tiny spark of rebellion, is all it takes. The illusion starts glitching. The faces around you don't look so happy anymore. The laughter feels forced, the compliments empty. And suddenly everything you once accepted without question starts feeling off. Not wrong, exactly, just not right. That's the first sign. The system doesn't break with fireworks, cracks in silence, in confusion, in the slow realization that maybe, just maybe, you've been sitting in the wrong seat your whole life. Now here's where it gets messy. That discomfort doesn't go away. No matter how hard you try to bury it under routines or smile it away with toxic positivity, it lingers. It grows teeth. You start waking up with dread instead of excitement. You stop looking people in the eye because deep down you're afraid they'll see it, the truth leaking out from your cracks. And what truth is that? That you were never supposed to be what they told you to be. That you're outgrowing the costume they stitched for you before you even had a say. And that's when it begins. The shift. The unraveling. Not a grand escape. No, those are for fairy tales. This is quieter, slower, like peeling off a second skin that was fused to your body. It hurts, it bleeds, but it's necessary. Because the pain you're feeling, that ache in your chest when you walk into the same room with the same fake smiles, that's not weakness, that's not failure, That's growth. That's transformation. That's the real you, stretching in a space that's too small for who you're becoming. They'll tell you it's just a phase, that you're being dramatic, ungrateful, selfish, because nothing terrifies a comfortable crowd more than someone who starts questioning the furniture. But you're not here to keep the room tidy. You're here to knock over the table, tear down the curtains, and find out what's behind the wall they told you never to touch. Because you know now, you feel now, that the life you were handed isn't the one you were born for. And yes, it's lonely, growth always is. There's a silence that comes when you stop pretending, and it's deafening. Friends fade, conversations get awkward, invitations stop coming. But that's the price of truth. That's the toll for walking away from the lie. And while it stings, it also frees you. You start speaking differently, moving differently. And the ones who still see you the old way, they get confused. They want the version of you that didn't ask questions, didn't make waves, didn't dare to be more. But that version's gone. And the discomfort you're feeling, that's not a sign you're lost. It's proof you're finally on the path. Because no one grows inside their comfort zone. No one finds their fire wrapped in a blanket of approval. You have to break the mold, burn the script. Walk into rooms where no one claps because no one understands you yet. Because what you're building can't be explained. It has to be lived, felt, survived. You weren't born for the loop. You were born to shatter it. And this ache in your bones, this gnawing in your gut, it's not a curse. It's the alarm clock. It's the call. It's the undeniable, inescapable proof that you were never meant to stay in that little corner, nodding politely while your soul begged for oxygen. You know what they don't tell you about dreams? They make you uncomfortable. Sure, they sound all glamorous when someone's selling you the idea. Big houses, happy endings, everyone's smiling while the camera flashes. But here's the thing no one ever mentions. Those dreams, they come with a price. And that price isn't some shiny ticket to paradise. It's stepping into a world where you're not quite sure if you're doing the right thing or if you're just making a mess. But you know what? That's exactly the point. It's supposed to feel wrong. It's supposed to shake your bones. Because when you're actually doing something real, when you're chasing a dream that's yours and yours alone, it doesn't come with a soft landing. It comes with a crash. And you start to realize, the closer you get to your real self, the more you feel like an alien in your own skin. It's not easy. It's not pretty. It doesn't come with smooth edges or easy answers. It's rough, it's raw, and it's downright uncomfortable. And that's where most people stop. They hit that moment of doubt, that nagging feeling in their gut, and they turn around. They go back to what's familiar. They go back to the lies, the easy smile, the just get through it mentality. They return to their comfortable cage because at least the bars don't hurt, right? But that's not you, is it? You're not turning back. You're not settling for the easy way. You're not looking for the path that everyone else is walking on. You're carving your own road, even if the stones cut into your feet. Because you know something most people don't. Discomfort isn't a signal to stop. It's a signal to push harder. It's the universe's way of telling you that you're moving in the right direction, even when every fiber in your body is screaming, this isn't safe. You're not supposed to feel at home in a place that's meant to stretch you, to grow you, to wake you up. But let's be real, it's hard. It's exhausting. Every day feels like you're juggling 1,000 different versions of yourself, trying to keep them all from falling apart. The guilt, the pressure, the constant reminder that no one understands what you're going through. And then there's the fear, that delicious little whisper that keeps you awake at night. What if you fail? What if all this effort is for nothing? What if you're just a fool, chasing a dream that will never come true? But here's the kicker, that fear, it's a liar. It's a parasite that feeds off your uncertainty. It preys on your doubt. And the more you listen to it, the more it wraps its fingers around your throat until you can't breathe. But when you refuse to give in, when you stop letting that voice control your life, that's when you start seeing the cracks. That's when you start realizing that the discomfort, it's not your enemy, it's your fuel. See, this is the part that no one prepares you for. They tell you to follow your passion, to go after your dreams, but they don't tell you that passion is a fire. And fire isn't always warm. It burns, it chars, it leaves scars, but it also lights the way. It shows you what's possible in the dark. And yeah, you'll stumble along the way. You'll slip, you'll fall, you'll lose sight of the dream more than once. But the real question is, when that happens, will you stay down? Will you let the discomfort win? Or will you stand back up, dust off the broken pieces of your pride, and keep moving forward? That's the test. That's where you find out who you really are. Most people will never get that far. They'll settle for the comfort of a life they know, even if it's suffocating them. They'll hide behind excuses and reasons why they can't go after what they really want. But you see through that. You see through the lies, through the smoke and mirrors. You see the truth, that the discomfort isn't the problem. The problem is pretending that you're fine when you're not. The problem is pretending that the lies are enough to get by when you know deep down they're killing you slowly every single day. So yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's painful. But you knew that going in, didn't you? You knew this was never going to be easy, because if it was, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be chasing their dreams. Everyone would be alive. But only a few are brave enough to step into the unknown, to stare down the discomfort and keep moving. Only a few can handle the fire without turning into ash. And you're one of those few. You always have been. Oh, I see. You've been waiting for a sign, huh? You've been staring at the clock, waiting for the universe to drop something in your lap. Some magic moment, a little miracle to tell you, yes, this is it. You've made it. This is your time. But here's the truth no one wants to admit. The universe doesn't drop signs. The universe doesn't hand out gift-wrapped packages with your future inside. No, the universe watches, waits, and laughs, throws you into the game and lets you figure it out. And that's exactly where the fun starts. Because if you're waiting for the world to give you permission, You'll be stuck forever in the same place. But if you decide to make the move first, if you choose to step out on your own, before the lights turn on, before the path is clear, now you've got something. Now you've got freedom. The freedom to fail, the freedom to learn, the freedom to be real. Here's where it gets tricky. You've probably been taught that failure is the worst thing that could happen. You've been fed that lie from day one, haven't you? Don't fail. Don't mess up. Play it safe. Stay in line. But failure isn't your enemy. Oh no. Failure is your best friend. It's the thing that shows you what's real and what's not. It's the hammer that smashes the illusion of comfort and forces you to see what's actually underneath all that fluff. What's left when everything you thought was solid crumbles away? That's the stuff you need. That's where the real journey begins. When you fall, when you fail, when everything goes sideways, that's when you learn what you're made of. That's when you find out what really matters to you. Not the fake, perfect version of you that everyone else wants to see, but the real, raw you, with all your messy, broken pieces. And sure, there are people out there who will tell you it's not worth it. They'll say you're crazy for taking the risk. They'll say, what are you doing? You've got a good life. You've got a good job. Why mess with the balance? But what are you really doing? You're sitting in a cage with an open door. You've got the key. You've always had it, but you're too scared to use it, right? Because if you step out, if you actually take that leap, you might fall. And what if you fall? What if you crash and burn? What if you fail? But guess what? It's not about the fall. It's about getting back up. It's about standing taller every time you hit the ground. That's where the power is. You don't need the world's permission. You don't need anyone's approval. The only thing you need is the courage to take the step, the first step, the step that says, I'm not afraid of what comes next. Because here's the kicker. You're going to fail. You're going to get it wrong. You'll make mistakes so big they'll seem impossible to recover from. But you'll recover. You always do. You know why? Because you're not as fragile as they want you to believe. You're not the perfect little doll that shatters the moment something goes wrong. No, you're built from the same stuff that makes the earth spin, the stars burn, and the world move forward. You're a walking contradiction, a beautiful mess, a glorious disaster in motion, and you're gonna keep going. Even when the road gets bumpy, even when the walls close in around you, because that's what it takes to live. So why are you still sitting there, waiting? Why are you letting the world's noise drown out your own? You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need someone to hold your hand and tell you everything's going to be okay. You just need to take that first step, the one that makes your heart race, your palms sweat, and your mind scream, this is insane, because that's when you'll know. That's when you'll know that you're finally on the right track. Not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, but because it's real. And anything worth doing is never supposed to be easy. You ever stop and wonder why people are so scared of the unknown? Why they'd rather sit in their safe little bubbles, suffocating themselves with the same routine over and over, than risk stepping into something new. It's funny, isn't it? The world's out here, wild and chaotic, and all they do is hold their breath, praying it won't swallow them whole. But here's the thing they never tell you. Staying in your comfort zone isn't safe. It's a prison, a trap. And the longer you sit there, pretending that everything's fine, the more it'll eat away at you until there's nothing left but a shell. You'll tell yourself, oh, I'm happy, I'm content, everything's good. But deep down, you'll feel it. That itch, that nagging feeling that maybe, just maybe, you weren't meant to settle. You weren't meant to fit in, and all the while you're holding yourself back, trying to protect yourself from what you fear will break you. But what if I told you that the things you're most terrified of are the things that'll set you free? What if I told you that the fear, the doubt, the uncertainty, they're not your enemies? No, they're your allies. They're the signals that you're on the right track. They're the alarms that go off when you step out of line with the ordinary, the predictable, the boring. And yet, so many of you run from that noise. You hide behind your excuses. You hide behind the walls you've built to keep everything comfortable and familiar. But there's a truth to all of this. The moment you stop running, the moment you stop pretending that your bubble is safe, that's when the real fun starts. Because you see, nothing worth having in this world comes without a little chaos, without a little madness. And let's be real, who are we kidding? You were never meant to live a quiet, peaceful life. No, you're made for more. You're made for the chaos. Now I know what you're thinking, but what if I fail? What if it all goes wrong? Here's the secret. It will go wrong. It will fail. And that's the beauty of it. You're not supposed to succeed at everything right away. You're not supposed to get it perfect. You're not some robot designed to follow a manual, no. You're a human being, messy, unpredictable, and capable of making things happen in the most absurd ways. Failure is just a stepping stone. It's a lesson, not a death sentence. And here's the kicker. The more you fail, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the closer you get to the real you, the version of yourself that no one thought you could be. So stop worrying about what's going to go wrong. Stop planning your safety net. Embrace the fact that it will crumble beneath you, and that's when you'll truly rise. Because in the end, it's not about the fall. It's about what you do after the fall. But here's where most people get stuck. They're terrified of change. They don't want to let go of what's comfortable. And I get it. Change is scary. It's unpredictable. It's messy. But that's the thing, isn't it? Change is the only thing that makes you feel alive. It's the only thing that pushes you past your limits. And it's the one thing that makes you realize just how much more you're capable of than you ever imagined. And while everyone around you is playing it safe, staying in their little bubbles, you're out here burning it all down and building something new from the ashes. They'll call you reckless, they'll call you crazy, but they'll be the ones stuck watching as you walk right past them, taking your steps towards something more. While they're stuck behind their glass walls, telling themselves how lucky you are, you'll be out there living your truth. You'll be out there turning your dreams into something real, something tangible, something that's only yours. So go ahead, step out of your comfort zone, tear down the walls, burn the scripts they gave you. They told you to follow the rules, to play nice, to sit in the corner and color within the lines. But who made those rules? Who said you had to play by someone else's book? You don't need permission to live your life. You don't need approval to chase your dreams. What you need is the courage to take the leap, to jump into the unknown and let the pieces fall where they may. Because once you do that, once you stop trying to play it safe, that's when you'll find the real magic. Not in the comfort, not in the safety, not in the predictability. No, the magic's in the madness, the magic's in the chaos, the magic's in the moments when you throw everything you thought you knew out the window and start from scratch. That's where the gold is. That's where the life is waiting for you. You just have to dare to reach for it. Oh, you're still sitting there, huh? Waiting for everything to line up perfectly, waiting for the stars to align, the universe to smile down on you, and the path to be lit up in front of you like some fairy tale. How cute. But come here. Let me whisper a little secret in your ear. Life doesn't work that way. You think you can plan it all out? You think you can control every little move, every little detail? That's adorable. That's a lie, though. Life is messy. Life is unpredictable. Life is chaos, and the only thing you can control is how you react to it. You're not in charge of the world around you. You're not in charge of what happens to you. You can't change the past. You can't predict the future. But you can change how you deal with it. You can change how you show up every single day, no matter how ugly or how messy it gets. You see, it's all about one thing: how you respond. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. First, let's talk about the people who love to sit back, comfortable in their little safe zones, pointing fingers at the ones who dare to step out. Oh, look at them. Look at that guy. What a mess. They love to throw their judgments, their criticisms, their negativity. But why? Because they're scared. They're scared of what could happen if they took that same leap. They're scared that if they risk it, they might fall flat on their faces. And that's the thing, isn't it? They think the fall is the worst part. They think that the pain of falling is the end of the world. But here's the truth. The fall isn't the problem. The problem is staying down. The problem is not getting back up. The problem is not learning from that fall, making it part of your journey. But these little critics, they'll never get it, because they'd rather stay safe, stay comfortable, and watch everyone else burn. But what they don't realize is that they're the ones stuck in their own personal prison, trapped in their own little bubble of fear. They're the ones missing out. And you? You're the ones. Start. Dick, dick, duke. Playing the game. But the truth is, those people aren't the only problem. You know what else is dangerous? that voice inside your head, that little voice that tells you to stay quiet, that tells you you're not good enough, not worthy enough, that you can't do it. That's the real killer. You see, no matter what anyone says to you, no matter how much the world tries to drag you down, the worst thing you'll ever face is your own mind. Because your mind can convince you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. It can convince you to give up before you even try. And it will twist everything around to make you believe that it's all too much, that you're too broken, that you're too late, that you don't belong. That voice, that little whisper, that's your enemy. And the only way to shut it up, to drown it out, is by moving forward anyway, by doing it anyway. Even when you're scared, even when you doubt yourself, even when that voice screams at you to quit.